Hello, and a very warm welcome to a fresh episode of Simply Electric featuring the all-new Ford E Tourneo Custom. This means that Ford has now ventured into producing the Tourneo in a completely electric version, making it a fully electric vehicle as well. That means not only with combustion engines or more recently as a plug-in hybrid, but purely battery electric. What that means is something we want to explore together. It comes available in two versions. One version is available as a panel van, kind of like for the craft business, or as we have it here, more intended for transporting passengers. That means we have up to 8 comfortable seating places available here. And let's take a closer look at what the Ford E Tourneo Custom can actually do in the standard length, as there are indeed 2 different wheelbases to choose from. Before we get started, please check if you're a part of the einfach elektrisch community. If not, we'd be thrilled if you supported us with a subscription. Please ring the bell and you'll receive notifications when the latest videos follow. Now let's dive right into the brand new Ford E Tourneo Custom. And as always, we'll begin from the outside, starting at the very front. And let's explore what the new Ford E Tourneo Custom has to offer us. And yes, I think you can recognize the purely electric version here by this anodized radiator grille. That means it's a mixed platform. The Tourneo is available as a plug-in hybrid with combustion engines. And as we have it in the purely battery electric version. Yes, I have to say, the design of the front end is extremely pleasing and very well executed. It's an attractive car in terms of appearance. It has received a fantastic daytime running light in the solar net, has been equipped with LED technology in the headlights, certainly includes high and low beam functions. And in my personal view, it indeed features quite stylish alloy wheels in our particular version, which are not just for show, are not only aerodynamically optimized, but also have a certain chic look, I think, that radiates style. Yes, on board we have the dimension steps. What do we have here? 235, 50 R19, 19-inch rims from Goodyear. Yes, that's indeed something we can surely appreciate, and we have it in an exceptionally beautiful shade of black. I can definitely share the color name with you. Quite a number of people are really quite keen on it. It's known as agate black, and I think that's not metallic at all. That's a solid paint, nicely covered with a proper clear coat. Exactly, we have it in the Titanium Edition X. There are several different variants available. Trend is the entry level, then there's Titanium Active and Titanium X. And that's essentially the highest form. And we have 2 different wheelbases available, Stefan. We have the L1 version. How long is that one exactly?
505M.
That means 5.05 meters vehicle total length. And if you need a longer wheelbase for more luggage on board or just more space inside, you get another 40 centimeters on top.
Sure, 5.45 meters.
Exactly. That would count as length number 2. So now we've already got that particular task checked off. So we have, so to speak, the short wheelbase with 3 meters 10, I believe. And the other one then has 3 meters 50 wheelbase. So from that, you can clearly see these are indeed real commercial vehicle dimensions. Yeah, I have to say the rear end truly is quite a beauty, isn't it?
Looks so chic, huh?
Especially with the privacy glass, the all black. Only the connoisseur will recognize the Tourneo lettering here, of course. Nice LED tail lights, kind of combined, but still with the old bulb. If you zoom in there, Stefan, you can swap them out pretty easily at the gas station. If you get really close here, you can clearly see the light bulb through. So Ford doesn't do things halfway. They combine it nicely in a practical manner. And as always, it's also performant. Let's talk about the dimensions. We have 5.05 meters in vehicle length for the wheelbase L1, which means 3.10 meters wheelbase. You can, of course, also get it in length 2, in which case it features a vehicle length of approximately 5.45 meters. Yes, the width is 2.03 meters plus side mirrors. That means 2.27 meters, and the vehicle height is 1.95 meters for comparison. I'm 1.85 meter tall. Those are pretty impressive dimensions, but I honestly think it's great that it manages to stay under 2 meters, meaning it fits into most parking garages easily. Yes, it is powered on the rear axle. It's an RWD with the electric motor there as well, offering 160 kW and 218 PS system maximum power, 415 Newton meters of torque for a solid punch. We'll want to try that out with you later in the driving report. And so it should also have reasonable acceleration. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a value for 0 to 100. Stefan, find anything?
Not unhappily, no.
I guess like around 10 seconds, we might be able to stop it manually somehow. We'll have to try and see if we can manage. And top speed is supposed to be 150 kilometers per hour. We'll also try that out on the highway with you later. Yes, there's a battery pack in the wheelbase, and I was somewhat surprised by that. 64 kilowatt hours in net.
Too bare.
It's quite suitable for an urban setting, particularly when taking short trips often. For trips, it should probably have a larger battery pack, don't you think?
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Because what is the competitive environment? That's the Mercedes EQV. Those are, of course, the Stellantis derivatives, like from Opel, Citroën, etc. PP, which do exist, that is the VW ID bus at the moment. Before the e-Carvel comes along, we already displayed them for you at the IAA fair. And they all optionally include the availability of larger battery packs. And I would have wished that Ford maybe had given the E Tourneo a battery pack somewhere between 80 and 100 kilowatt hours. Yes, here at the front on the side is a front side loader, then the charging port is AC, alternating current 3-phase with 11 kilowatts, and DC with up to 125 kilowatts maximum output. I'm surprised there too. A compact battery, 64 kilowatt hours, charges in 10.8, totaling 39 minutes.
That was genuinely rather quite mean.
I honestly believe that's somehow not really considered all that up to date anymore. We all agreed to stay and charge there for no more than a half hour. Smaller batteries really should charge more quickly instead of slowly. Yes?
One would think.
Well, we simply have to accept it the way we present it to you. We can start, and it comes as a trend package at approximately 65,000 euros, which I found on the internet. We have it as the Titanium X version with nearly all features for 75,000 euros. 1,000 euros, that's quite a substantial amount.
That's quite a bit, yeah.
But what he has to offer, we will naturally take a closer and more detailed examination of now. And first of all, let's check out what's beneath the front hood. It lifts up quite heavily because, for instance, I'm definitely missing those hood lifters on the sides right here. It's quite well insulated up at the front, but in reality, there's only some climate control technology, charging tech, and various other stuff. Considering the space here, they definitely could have added a nice little frunk, don't you think, Stefan?
Yeah, a small bowl could definitely fit in here, where a Type 2 cable could go.
Because it's obviously convenient to have a small frunk, so we don't have to toss our charging equipment around in the trunk, especially when it rains or during winter with lousy weather, and then everything ends up dirty, and we end up basically mixing it with our clean luggage inside the cabin. Yeah, no chance for a range hood for us. Let's have a listen to what such an E Tourneo hood sounds like, shall we?
All right, now 3, 2, 1, go.
Far more important than the frunk, of course, is the trunk space at the back, meaning the rear storage area. And here I was surprised that, at least with our test subjects, the tailgate doesn't open electrically. I don't think there's an electric Ford at the moment, is there? And we have here 672 liters of trunk space. If you fill it up to the roof, it's somewhat variable with the specifications. We have here, let's say, approximately the depth of a carry-on suitcase. We've already tried that out and tested it. We'll demonstrate that to you again in just a moment. And then you have the great ability to very easily and smoothly adjust and slide the rear seat bench to suitably increase, enhance, and maximize the overall trunk space as needed. This essentially means that depending on whether you need more space for passengers or luggage, you maintain a remarkable amount of flexibility and adaptability. You see, it's really very easy to fold this down, and then you have the opportunity to fold down the rear seat backs. This gives you a loading volume of up to 1,100 liters up to the roof with the rear seat folded down. So you're really flexible. If that's not sufficient, there's always the long wheelbase option.
Right, you get 40 centimeters extra.
Here you can nicely see with our carry-on suitcases that you, of course, have the option to stack them up quite nicely here so that there is plenty of loading and storage volume here as well. Yeah, what I find unfortunate is the electric tailgate. It's generally considered a fantastic approach to conveniently and effortlessly close such an exceptionally massive tailgate. I couldn't find a roof load step. Couldn't find specific info, but seems there's an optional tow hitch with a 2.3 ton towing capacity. Solid, huh?
That's pretty decent indeed, especially considering it might be slightly underpowered.
Well, maybe not underpowered, since 160 kilowatts, 280 horsepower is decent as a rear engine. I would rather say that the battery is undersized, because when there are 2.3 tons of trailer load, and we of course already have a consumption due to the structure form of probably around plus minus 25 kilowatt hours, I would estimate. Those were also our experiences back then with the Mercedes EQV, which has a similar configuration. When you're towing a load of 2.3 tons, it's likely that you'll use around 35 to 40 kilowatt hours. 100 to 150 kilometers with the trailer on battery.
Not much more is possible.
Outside, we've shown you everything. Let's take a look inside. And first, we'll check here. What we have for glazing is basically single glazing. But in the commercial vehicle segment, that's actually quite common. Certainly, if we take a closer look at this spot here, you'll observe that we essentially have a well-appointed and quite proper door panel installed. But if we're being honest, everything, even if it's a bit soft and foamy, is full of plastic. That's just the trend. All the manufacturers are heading that way. I find it a bit unfortunate because here it's already, as you always so nicely tend to say,
Plasticity.
yeah, up here it's still somewhat soft, but then everything underneath becomes really hard. If you rest your arm there, that might work just fine. Window handle, mirror adjustment. But we have large storage areas.
Yes, much is happening.
Check this out over here, B&O.
Look, B&O is a strong one.
He's enjoying... I'd say let's take a closer look at what he treats himself to on the dashboard. Welcome back in here. Yes, thanks a lot. In the Ford E Tourneo, and I really must say it's very well done.
It looks nice.
What we don't have is a head-up display, but it's not unusual for commercial vehicles not to have one. However, there's a nice, large digital driver instrument display. That looks good. Where we can learn all the essentials right here. We have a nice multifunction steering wheel, flat on both the top and bottom, complete with tactile buttons, unlike the Explorer. Yes.
Fine.
It's moving on, right? We have the gear selector here on the right, just like we know it, down for drive, up for reverse, with the P button on the side for parking. No problem. So we basically have the wiper lever for the windshield wipers here, and on the side there's this classic rotary knob, which is also used for the lights, where we also have the automatic lighting feature. Yes, what's really well done here in this 21:9 design, it looks about 14 inches big, I'd estimate, is the computer science. Infotainment display, where we also have a nice large map allowing us to zoom in and out properly. You can see that this process is quite swift. We're currently in the vicinity of Frankfurt, specifically at Malbeher Markt, where we're taking a detailed look at the latest sports models to share our insights with you. Yeah, now I have to get my bearings again a bit. Here we have the home button right up there this time, where we can also still have different menus and settings. Yeah, I think that with the tiles, it's all solved quite neatly.
It's simple, you know? I really like it.
Indeed, but ultimately it's really about practicality. Down this area is where we can find the air conditioning control, where we set the temperature, and we have the ability to adjust the car in 3 distinct modes. It's nice, right? It even includes seat heating for driver and passenger. That's quite nice too. And here, loud and quiet. Yes, that's it. Still with a little dial, which I always like best, and I think we even have another camera function here. We'll look at that more closely later. We adjust the gears here. Know this button from the Explorer, right, Stefan?
Yes, we even have the sports mode. I'm absolutely thrilled.
Normal, eco, sport, and slippery settings. That's certainly quite cool. And when we have to manage heavy loads, such as towing a trailer, having the right transmission setting is crucial to ensure it performs well, even when under pressure. Better to accelerate. Yes, what we definitely have here are electric sliding doors on the left and right. We'll look at that in detail later. Here we have nice air vents, the electronic parking brake, a compartment with a roll cover, and 2 cup holders. We plan to measure the interior noise with you later, which can be sealed. Here's another coin compartment. And then down here, we also have USB-C as well as USB-A. We have a 12-volt socket available here, and there's also quite a spacious storage compartment, essentially like another designated area for placing a smartphone. And here simply screwed on like a bracket. Not too bad, don't you think?
I wonder if there's an optional center console or something similar that you might consider adding or installing in this space here. Lovely one. Yes.
Look, we have the center armrest here to fold down.
Look, that's strong.
Well, that's classy, huh? We can also lock them here, right? To achieve the most suitable and fitting driving ergonomics in this area as well.
No prob, eh?
Yes, there's a nice storage compartment up top, like in commercial vehicles, where we can pack plenty of stuff, also left and right by the mirrors. 2 cup holders, and also here again a nice large glove compartment, but unfortunately, as we often see, it's not lined with carpet or felt. The view through the passenger door gives a glimpse of this open space again. So there's nothing in the way here. You can put the men's pouch here, place a women's handbag here, or just set a bag down. So it's all nicely done. I also really like the power adjustable seats.
Yes, that's very good.
While they might provide somewhat more lateral support in the thigh area, we also have the additional option here to extend the seat area accordingly. That's good. We have few shoulder pads and actually none comfort headrest that we can, in some way or another, easily manage to move in and out, but you don't really need it.
Nah, no need.
Is it real leather or some kind of fake leather? I'm not sure, but I'd guess it's probably likely to be faux leather, right? Also enough for a utility vehicle sector, right?
Yep.
But with the seams all done nicely, looks good, yeah?
Looks chic in shape, yes.
And what Stefan also found is like another compartment under the seat where you can plug in a charging cable. Yes.
For example, because you don't have a double loading floor in the back, for example. You could place it under here. It's perfectly fine too.
And I've got good headroom here. So 195-meter vehicle height, that's quite substantial.
That's good.
Let's take a closer look at the second row of seats together. You'll notice the sliding door opens up electronically. Those were the buttons used for both the driver and passenger sides. This convenient setup makes it possible for us to enter here in a very comfortable manner indeed. Stefan, come on in, you're welcome to join us. Because right here we have, in my opinion, 6 very decent seats. That means you can close the door electrically again, correct?
That's correct. Simply pressed once to fasten.
It closes softly. Moreover, here, 6 people can comfortably sit opposite each other, enjoying plenty of legroom throughout their journey. We have a rail system here, meaning you can also arrange the seats in rows in the classic setup with 2 seats positioned at the front, then 3 facing forward, and then again the last row of seats. So it's all very, very well done, and we have 4 ISOFIX attachments. Yes?
Great. Always on the open seats, not the middle.
Exactly. If you can turn around a full 180 degrees and take a seat on the opposite side over here, Stefan, then you'll be able to get another really nice and clear view of that climate control unit over there. So we have 2 climate systems here. One for the front passenger area for the driver and passenger, and another for the back for rear passengers. That's a great story too.
That's great, yeah.
We've got air vents positioned all over, allowing us to have either warmth or cool airflow out of them. Well, it's all nicely done. And then please check out this huge glass roof. I think it's awesome, right?
Yeah, it's nice.
Even though I'm sort of missing some kind of shade or dimming option for the hot summer months, you know?
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Aren't you aware that we have this double stove plate effect going on here? And in addition, we also have the option to open up the window as well. Did you understand how that works?
I haven't had my turn yet.
Because somehow I've been poking around here quite a bit since you really don't want to end up breaking anything.
Oh, like those old train windows, you could only slide them open in that particular way.
That's like a display window. Nice, nice. Oh, they had that at the back for the Eco V, you know? Right, exactly. If you could open it electrically, that's kind of pointless too, isn't it?
Yes, well.
Do you need that? Feel free to write in the comments how you see it. Yes, and then of course we have the very, very convenient electric sliding door on the driver's side again, where I will crawl out now and where you can comfortably step out over the step. Yes, and as you can see, it's perfectly possible to travel comfortably with a group of 8 people here. Sometimes it jams, you know? Sometimes it just won't. Oh God, am I doing it wrong? But now it's somehow working. Outside, we've shown you everything. Inside, we've shown you everything. I'd say let's kick things off with the Ford E Tourneo. Let's take a look and see exactly what it can do during our detailed test drive. We kicked off with the Ford E Tourneo, and I must say at 160, it really packs a punch, right? Well, it takes off nicely.
Yeah, the problem is just that when the road is a bit wet like today, the back end slides out immediately if there's no weight in the back.
Yeah, so this is definitely meant for more seasoned comrades and peers.
Yes, it's you.
We want to measure the interior noise with you at 50 kilometers per hour. "70, 71 decibels is quite loud.
That's definitely slightly louder.
Let's try it again here. Yeah, 70, 71 decibels, you can't gloss over that. So if we compare it with a VW ID.3, 3, it comes in at 60, 61 decibels. Let's speed up to 70 kilometers per hour. It stays around 70, 71 decibels, likely just some background noise. And let's accelerate to 100 kilometers per hour to see what it does at 100. '70, 71 indeed, yes?
Absolutely fantastic. Yes?
It appears that the E Tourneo caters to a consistent baseline noise level that is always present here. Yes, we want to transition over to the assistance system soon and try them out together with you. We've activated the adaptive cruise control feature here. And without a doubt, it also includes a lane keeping assistant capability. You can see this here very, very nicely, but is it really with steering assistance? No, while we're holding the lane's center quite well, it tends to drift off to the side and disappointingly fails to correct. This means that somehow the steering assistant is also missing on board, but there are some commercial vehicles that don't even have it yet. What we're typically familiar with from regular cars. Yes, let's transition to discussing the top speed, really press the pedal here and accelerate up to something like 120, 130. Yeah, 135, but any faster and he just won't go, you know? No, I read somewhere that he could reach 150, right? Let's consider whether it's currently the best time to switch the drive mode settings. Go to sports, all right? So, still no faster? No?
Puzzling.
That means it appears to be able to achieve its top speed roughly somewhere in the general vicinity of about 135 kilometers per hour. But if we're being honest, with the current structure, it won't get much faster either.
I think if there's a bit of wind, you'll sway back and forth a little.
Take a look. The adaptive cruise control system here, we can actually set it to 134 kilometers per hour. It covers the complete range thoroughly. Additionally, there's a radar sensor located at the bottom for enhanced precision. We have the ability to adjust the distance to the car ahead in various stages, specifically 3 stages. However, for some reason, I'm really kind of missing a little bit in this context. Then also, yes, if you want to put it that way, the inclusion of a steering assistant.
Yeah, the steering assistance, you know, that would have been nice.
It adapts really well to changes in speed, from 120 down to 100, and then to 70, and it sees the 70 coming in advance. Look, he's slowing down to 70 at the sign.
He does well.
He's doing it quite well.
That's fine, yes.
Unusual for a commercial vehicle too.
Yes.
Ford has introduced some really excellent tech on board here, and if they were to provide support for the steering assistant as well, that would be truly amazing. In this E Tourneo with the short wheelbase, there's an 11.60 meters turning circle. Okay, Stefan, right?
So good, yeah.
But if you take the long wheelbase, you'll have 1 meter more turning circle. Then it's 12.8 meters, I think, or 12.6 meters. So in cities, you really get around, right?
That's really quite neat, yes, indeed true.
And naturally, it's important to have assistance when parking such a large vessel here, measuring 5.05 meters as well. Let's take a look at what we have on board here. Yes, a nice wet rear view camera. But look, we have guidelines, don't we? We would indeed actually need to carefully make our way around the bends here, if I'm seeing this right. Sure, that seems like it might actually work. Perhaps that's slightly before we end up scuffing this one. The Benz looks pricey too.
The Benz also looks expensive, exactly.
Let's drive back and forth again. That wasn't my intention. I actually always wanted to show you how awesome I am, smoothly parking 5,5 meter Shimani in one go here. I had to correct that before I called the Benz a wreck, right? That Benz is really quite stylish. He surely treated himself well here. Look. Yes, on board we naturally also have, with bells and whistles included, as it should be, a 360-degree system. This means you can look up here again and have the opportunity to take a look at the various sides here too. But it already kind of triggers me a little bit that it's jingling and banging around here.
But as soon as the reverse gear is engaged, it won't stop, I believe.
Yeah, but if I go in there, then he'll go out again. Ah, look, you can exit here. Ah, what a great relief for the ears. So does that mean you have some... Unfortunately, no options here and no front camera is included.
There is enough space.
They really cut corners there, right? Surely it can't actually be true. No front camera at all.
No, really not.
Take a look here. You can zoom in and stuff. Look here, you're strong.
That's really quite good.
Oil for the menu. Aha. 180 degrees is important, like when going out and then again here on the side. Avoid scuffing the 19-inch rims.
Yeah, but like I said, no front camera.
I'm actually a bit disappointed now. A full 360 degrees would have been really cool, right? With guiding bells to find the way out.
Then you might settle for 270, you say.
We want to do a quick start with you at the traffic light. It really takes off. 20, 40, 50, 70. Hey, isn't this just a whole lot of fun? Wouldn't you agree?
Most definitely indeed, yes.
I must say he's quite agile, right?
That's right, yes. So you gain distance.
He's got no hassle with us now, right? No, you got to mention that too.
But he didn't begin to panic or anything like that in the back seat, am I right?
Nah, just at the curve, right? Likely because of the lateral acceleration. Then it starts to get a little wheel spin, but it's fine, right? I have to say, even in normal mode, when you step on it, it moves forward. He's not slow at all, is he? No?
But absolutely not.
That's the good thing about electromobility, that we constantly have the 415 Newton meters at our disposal, right? And it's really enjoyable to just hit the pedal and accelerate with an electric vehicle, experiencing the thrill and speed it offers. Yes, in terms of comfort, Stefan, that's the objective and task for your seat of the pants feel, right?
You truly do sit quite comfortably in here, actually. Yes, of course, lateral support and thigh support are not exactly that prominent. Doesn't really have to be in here though, I think, because for that, from the left, we're standing so hard in the curve because that thing hits from the left and away. As for the ride comfort, I believe it's quite fine because it's not rocking too much.
Well, I mean, if you're already sort of...
Yes. So...
For me, the suspension could be a bit more firmly comfortable. Sure, I don't want to take it to the extreme here in this rainy weather today with 16 degrees around Frankfurt. But it could be a bit tighter, right? Yes.
Most definitely, yes.
It's simply typical bully, isn't it?
Yes, precisely.
Well, I'd say there are also those competitors out there, whether it's a VW ID bus or the more traditional drive forms. You drive a lot of VW transporters, right? Yes, at the sports club where you don't see each other much.
No, not at all. It's definitely not quite as nice around there.
But I think everything here is nicely done. It's digital. And I believe you also have a decent travel comfort on a longer journey here. So it's definitely a great deal of fun with the E Tourneo to embark on an exciting journey with up to 8 people. We're going to test the sound system together with all of you.
Catching and vacationing was really beautiful water, I sincerely have to say. For such a transport for a caravel, it is actually quite decent, honestly. Only if that's what you mean. Yes, the great resonance.
That's the nice thing about it, because we also have effect trimming and Android Auto smoothly integrated into the system here, which means you can easily connect to the vehicle here and tailor your smartphone usage accordingly. Do you think it's put together well? Absolutely, yes. A good electric car should, of course, also be equipped with excellent route planning capabilities, ideally even with a charging planner, or yeah, please. It would also be fantastic if voice commands managed that. Perhaps the whole caravan here, hey Ford, hey Tourneo, hey Transit, and there's still no response. Thankfully, we do have a very handy button available. Drive us over to Munich to the Viktualienmarkt. Look, it does better than an Explorer. This means we have a beautifully designed integrated navigation system here that also incorporates charging stations. This indicates you have thorough and comprehensive route and charging planning available right here. You can see this clearly here. Plus, it includes a charging station where we should charge for around 25 minutes accordingly. Yeah, let's see what else we can adjust here. So we have quite a few options available that we can still add there if needed. That's pretty well done, right?
Yes, sufficient, yes.
Here's a corresponding overview where you can also see where the next charging stop is right there. So I have to say Ford has handled that quite well, hasn't it?
That's really good, yeah.
And especially in such a utility vehicle, hats off. slowly but surely. Let's come to the conclusion with the Ford E Tourneo Custom. I have to say I'm genuinely impressed. So he drives well, he drives briskly. You have a decent seating position here. The infotainment system is great. The seats in the back are also well made. So I think it's an exciting car for anyone who might use it as a shuttle, who might want to use it in an urban environment for short distances where you can manage well with the 64 kW battery.
Absolutely. 4 children in ISOFIX, so it's actually predestined for a larger family.
On longer trips, we're clearly missing some serious charging power because taking 39 minutes to go from 10 to 80% is kind of sluggish, unfortunately. If we assume 64 kilowatt hours, it likely uses roughly 25 on the highway at 120. 200 km on one charge, okay?
It's truthfully just not that impressive or great.
Yeah, so I would really hope that Ford maybe adds an option for a second battery size at a later time. Then also with increased capacity, just to travel maybe 300 to 400 kilometers. That worked really well with the Mercedes EQV and its 90 kilowatt hour battery. Yes.
He kept his charging power consistent throughout.
Exactly, consistent 110 kilowatts for half an hour, then it was back to 1080. So from that point of view, feel free to write in the comments how you see it. I think Ford offers attractive leasing and financing conditions. I saw something for 359 euros. I'm unsure if it was the E version. Likely it was the combustion engine one, which has a lower base price. So probably with e-mobility, you have to take a bit more from the bottle.
Yes, I think so too.
Well, I mean, starting at 66, like we have here as a Titanium X then with 75 kilos, that's quite a statement.
That's rather a substantially sizable swig from the bottle.
Long wheelbase, you said, was a toy more? Yes.
Precisely 1,000 extra.
Because that'll soon be worth it, since you'll have 40 centimeters more car for 1,000 euros.
But you'll also need to reserve an additional 40 centimeters for parking.
Certainly, taking into account luggage and ensuring comfort.
Yes, no, that's not meant to be negative.
So you should definitely consider that. So feel free to go to your local Ford dealer, take it for a test drive, and get your own impression. Because I could easily imagine that the E Tourneo Custom might just as well excite you. And so we have finally arrived at the conclusion of today's video presentation highlighting the Ford E Tourneo Custom. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up. Please check again if you are part of the einfach elektrisch community. If not, we'd be glad if you support us with a subscription. By doing this, you won't miss out on the newest videos about electromobility topics. Thank you very much for watching. Stay healthy and see you soon. Yours, Olli. Hey, Stefan, look, here it is again as a box, right?
Yes, that's correct.
In a lovely turquoise, don't you think? Looks truly classy, right?
Sure, that's chic, huh?
So, look, as a panel van, that's really ideal for a tradesman, don't you think?
Yeah, if you're working in the city with it, right, then the 64 kilowatt hour battery is enough, right?
Importantly, notice the back wing doors. You can easily drive in a pallet with a forklift, right?
Pallet inside, yes, precisely.
Well, the e-Transit here, it can do quite a bit, right?
Nope.